You want to cue that?
From the Red Wings to Michigan State, we're talking about it. This is State of My Sports.
I have a question for you before we jump into Michigan here.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you remove the Pistons and the Red Wings talk from this week because you felt like it would be too long?
I did, yeah. So I didn't think there was enough to really talk about.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of dig into the playoffs a little bit more. Did you have something that you were interested in bringing up for the Pistons?
Well, we could make it short for both. If we
want to do it at the very end?
Yeah, let's
hold me accountable for it.
At the very end, let's do like a maximum of 2 minutes per team.
All right.
That's it. Just a quick touch on both of them.
That sounds great. Michigan went into Happy Valley and beat the Nittany Lions 21-17 after Eric All scored a 47-yard touchdown with 3 minutes and 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Awesome.
To retake the lead 21-17, which ended up being the final score. The defense kind of finished things off after that. Cade had a solid game going 19 of 29 for 217 yards, but the 3 touchdowns, 2 to Roman Wilson and 1 to All was great to see. Great throws. Obviously, the Eric All one was pretty simple throw, well-designed play, but the 2 throws to Roman Wilson I thought were throws that we're really, really excited to see and need to see heading into the big weeks here coming up. With Cormount, Haskins was a beast with 156 yards on 31 carries, 5-yard average, and an additional 45 yards with 5 catches through the air. The defense led this team once again by beating up Clifford with 7 sacks, led by Hutchinson with 3, Ojabo with 2, and containing Dotson to only 61 yards on 9 catches. Was this a statement victory? No, I don't personally think it was. However, I don't think you can just throw it away because it is going into Happy Valley, and I know people unranked, blah, blah, blah. Well, they were ranked in the AP. So let's keep that. Like, if you want to use that as an argument, then be consistent with the AP, and we'll have that conversation.
Historically, this will go down as an AP top 25 team.
Yep, exactly. And when it comes to Harbaugh and his big wins argument, I would consider this closer to a big win than not. That's where I'm at. Where are you at with would you consider that a big win?
I consider that a huge win. Huge win for all the reasons you just said, or really just going into Happy Valley. You know, this is an AP top 25 team. Penn State just a few weeks ago was ranked in the top 3 in the nation, and this was a major test because Penn State's one of those teams that has elite defensive prospects, elite offensive prospects on both sides of the ball. They have a slippery quarterback who you could blame his injury for their first loss against Iowa, right? I mean, if he doesn't get injured, they probably win that game.
They're probably in the top 15.
There you go. And it just makes them look even better and maybe more momentum on their side to pull off another one. Yep. You know, they're a really good team, and they have a lot of talent on their team, and Michigan overcame a lot of issues. They overcame the atmosphere in Happy Valley. They overcame the talent on the other side of the ball, and they showed they were more talented. They were more solid. They could make the big plays when they needed them as opposed to Penn State. They stepped up to the challenge, and I think that, you know, this is, again, the type of game that previous teams would have lost.
Yep, and that's exactly what I like. This was a growing up win. You know what I mean? Because, like you said, these are the games that people would kill Harbaugh for losing. They would have destroyed Harbaugh for losing this game. Rightfully so, because the way that it all kind of went down there. But, like, you got to give him credit for bouncing back. Yeah, it was a crazy, 48-yard touchdown run, whatever pass, whatever it was. It was a great play, well-designed, and it sounds like they had it. They were saving that play for a particular time, and they were practicing it. They knew they had it, and, man, and they executed. And look, yeah, if you want to go in is Penn State the normal Penn State? No, but this is that doesn't mean anything. And if you're trying to, like, all of the argument is, all right, well, you got to take another step. You got to be better than the Penn States of the world, the Wisconsins of the world, the Michigan States of the world. You got to beat them. You got to be better than, well, not even Michigan State heading into the year, but, like, you got to be better than these teams. Okay, well, we are. Well, they're not as good.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, well, okay.
Well, they have one more loss on the record they should have. Because we beat them.
Which way is it? Yeah. And it's just it's driving me nuts. And here we are, Wisconsin's up in, like, top 15 now.
Yeah, but you're not going to get, like, weeks ago, we don't get any credit for saying that was a good win.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And it's just, it's so frustrating. It's just, it's like politics. I feel like you're not changing anybody's mind, even though how right or wrong they are.
And it's so hard to go in the past and make something right. You going in hindsight and saying, "See, I told you that was a good win." Only works at the end of the year, but in the middle of the year, nobody cares because they're worried about the next game. They're worried about what they just saw recently, and they'll say something like, "Well, you didn't even use JJ this week, so they probably would have lost without JJ against Wisconsin." It's like, well, whatever. At the time we beat them, okay?
Yeah.
So I think yes, it was a big win. Was it a statement win? It was a statement for them inside the locker room. It was not a statement win across the board to the teams as a whole, like for the rest of the country. They're not on notice. It's not like they're going on notice saying like, "Uh-oh, watch out for Michigan." But inside the locker room, that was important. They have to believe in this team. They have to believe in their coaches. They have to believe in the scheme. They have to believe in Harbaugh. They have to believe in themselves.
Yeah, and it was awesome. And I think the defense needs to get a ton of credit, mainly because of the start. I don't want to go drive by drive or anything, but this is such a key part of this game. So the first drive, Penn State got the ball. I think they got a couple first downs. Fake punt, they got it. Michigan still held them to a field goal. Got through it and held them to a field goal. Long drive.
Fake punt that, I'm sorry, but the dude, number 14 on Michigan, he was in the perfect spot. He should have picked it.
I'm so confused of why he stopped.
He's just looking around
weirdest.
What do I do? Where's the ball? He was so confused, and then it just dropped in. Yeah. Yep. He was in the perfect spot, though.
He really, he just got caught looking and then one step behind. Second drive, so Michigan ended up getting the 3 out. Second drive, Penn State tried a fake field goal, which, another example of James Franklin being such an idiot coach.
What a dumb play.
Such a stupid play, stupid decision. We don't need to get into that much. But Michigan stopped them. Anyways, there was a point that, right after this, I think it was pretty much the first quarter, the majority of the first quarter, Penn State had 36 plays to Michigan's 6 offensive plays. And it was only 3-0.
Yep.
Then Michigan took the ball, went down, took a lead. 7-3, eventually took a 7-6 lead into halftime. When they should not have had a lead in that game.
Yep.
And the defense stood their ground and played an unbelievable half, even though they were moving the ball on them at times.
No, you're right.
Absolutely insane.
You're absolutely right.
It was. I thought a perfect bend and not break defense. At least in that first quarter, they were just containing. They were getting big plays. But then Penn State would get a big play. And I remember looking over at my dad, and he goes, "Man, they're kind of throwing everything at them these first couple drives, aren't they?" I'm like, "Yeah, I feel like they're desperate. They know that they're not going to have another chance." And that's kind of what happened. Michigan kind of suffocated them throughout the rest of the game up until the fourth quarter when things kind of took another turn. But for 36-6 in offensive plays to start the game, and you ended up with a lead and a lead heading into halftime. That tells me something. And then the way that everything's kind of turned with the all touchdown and the way that they responded in a very, very tough spot. Everybody expected them to lose that game. Everybody was like, see, told you. And boom, they made the play, the throw, well-designed play. And that dude looked so uncomfortable running, but he made it down.
He's hurt, man.
Yeah, he said his ankle hurt throughout that whole run. But, I don't know. What did you think of I guess, I don't want to get too much into the game, but that side of it at least, was that as big as I thought it was?
What, the
36-6, just the start
huge.
And holding it.
I'm trying to remember the stat in that game because they brought it up on the broadcast, and it was something about it was easily the biggest difference in number of plays for any team, any game this year. But I want to say of all time to start a game in the first quarter, 36-6 plays wise, you do not get any more a bigger gap than that. How do you have a 30-play difference in one quarter?
That's insane. And that's scary for our offense. That's not a comforting thing.
That's a bad position to be in. You're right, though. The defense kept him in. They were the reason they were still in this game at that point.
Yeah, so Haskins, 31 carries, 156 yards, 5 yards per carry, average awesome. I think he had 46 yards in the first half. And they stuck with it. They kept pounding.
Yep.
And that's one thing that Michigan's done is they stick to it and they wear out your opponent. And the fact that they were able to do that, again, let's go back to Wisconsin. They did that to Wisconsin. Now they just did it to Penn State. The two most talented teams that they've played. Don't get me wrong. Michigan State is a better team, but talent-wise, they did that to their two most talented teams that they've played.
Yeah.
That's eye-opening for me. For the offensive line and the sake of just, we're going to do it. We're going to continue to do it. And that's going to be key. Do I want them to just continue to run the ball and try to beat Ohio State that way? I mean, I don't want that to happen, but it seems like that's their ticket to do it.
Well, but we've seen them, they got, let's get into the again, you don't want to go drive by drive, but if we go into the drive where they scored their first touchdown, that was a critical drive with big-time plays. So there was not a first down in the game yet at that point. They got a crossing route to Cornelius Johnson. He kind of went underneath the linebacker and then went around it, and there was really good blocking on that play, and it was something for like 16, 20 yards.
Yep. Big
play, and they were deep in their own zone at that point. Then they went and ran the ball a couple of times, big third down conversions. There was a 3rd and 12, I believe, where they threw a screen pass to Hassan Haskins to keep that in their own zone. 3rd and 12, they blitzed, and this was recognition by Cade Cunningham, but not only that, it was a great play call for Josh Gaddis. He threw the screen to the left side. I think it was Eric Rawl or one of the other Sanderstill. Sanderstill was pancaked, put on his back as a blocker out front, and Haskins spun out of that. Remember, he stiff armed, spun, picked up that first down. Those are, to me, examples of big players making big time plays. And Haskins right now, he's a senior on this team. He's a big time player.
He is.
He is a gamer, man, and this is who he is. This is not just abnormal for him. This is a standard game for him. If they gave him the ball 30 times every game, he would produce like this every game.
Yeah, and these are Kenneth Walker numbers. They are. He just doesn't have that massive playability that we've seen yet, but he has the pounded out. He doesn't have the. Yeah,
he's slippery.
He is. He's good. And the one thing that I thought was awesome, what did I say? He had 5 catches and 45 yards through the air. That's very, very important because without Corum, you need to know that's still a threat. And if Haskins can do that, 5 catches, decent amount of yards, that's really important for this team, especially if you can't have Corum in. As that type of threat, he can be his own lightning to the thunder. That you know what I mean? Like there's the thunder and lightning, and yeah.
Well, and
he can also be that lightning too.
What was so great about this game too is he was our safety net. Haskins was the safety net in slippery game again. Like they didn't want to give it to Donovan Edwards. I feel like it was just too big of a moment for that kind of a true freshman time to come in. And you could rely on Haskins to hold on to the ball, to make all these plays, to be reliable, to make the first downs on a 4th and 2. Because later in that same drive, it was 4th and 2. He was stuck behind the line of scrimmage, and he spun out of that first tackle, dove, and then extended his arm.
He scares me a lot when he extends that ball.
Telling you though,
extends it at such crazy
he's got
time,
a feel for it. He is a true running back, and he's not
good.
Necessarily the most explosive. He might not be a Kenneth Walker Jr., but he is a freaking running back, man.
He's close. He's close to that level.
He's maybe like he needs maybe the stop and go ability, but he doesn't do that. He's more slippery. He moves forward. Kenneth Walker will take a little bit more chances.
Yeah,
that's the biggest difference.
No, that's
and maybe
fair.
Overall athleticism.
The defensive line is that is our ticket.
It's elite.
It is.
It's the best in the country.
Absolutely insane. Ojabo has
exploded
on the scene here, and with Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, that is the thing you can hang your hat on. I'm nervous about this offense. I still am. I don't think anything really changed. Changes my feelings on it. It gets very, very stagnant, and I hate that. And I mean, you play a team with any type of other type of threat. I mean, you're going to get exposed, and that's scary. And I know I keep moving into the Ohio State matchup, and I don't want to do that yet because I do think that's a big win, and that's a win that what are they now, 9-1? Is that what it is?
They're 9-1. They're one win against Maryland from being a 10-win team. If
we said that heading into the season for Michigan, like get rid of the Michigan State. I mean, that's a whole nother story if we said that. But like if we said Michigan was going to have 10 wins or let's say 9 wins or whatever it is, people would be being like, "Oh, you guys are slappy. You guys don't know what."
100%.
I would have said the same thing. Yeah, you're right. I probably
we might have gotten there with like a vote or something, and then turned around and said, "Oops."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, how did we get there?
But it's such a fun time. Again, nothing's really changed for me on this team. Very happy with it. They're winning games that they normally wouldn't win.
Yeah, and I think it goes. There's some growing going on. There's some growth that we're physically seeing. There's a safety. I'm blanking on his name. Who's the safety that's been playing really well? Freshman.
Micah, where are you on this one, man?
Yeah.
You're the name guy.
I know, but there's a freshman safety that's been coming in. More. Moore. Anyways,
I believe you.
He's been playing great defense, and he's actually been being the play caller, the signal caller. He's getting it from the coaches and relaying it to the rest of the team as a freshman back there as safety. Like, that's a safety net position. That is huge for this secondary. But not only that, we've been able to rely on DJ Turner.
Yep.
Turner, number 5 cornerback, and then on the other side, number 4. What's his name?
I'm so bad with the names.
Really? Cornerback number 4? He's been around for forever.
Oh, Jamon Green?
No, Jamon Green's hurt right now.
Yeah, he's hurt.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, Jamon Green is hurt.
I don't know. I'm just throwing names out that
Jamon Green is hurt right now, but we are basically DJ Turner
Mike
came
is
in.
Pissed at us right now.
Yeah, I know.
He's listening. He's like,
DJ Turner came in. I got the numbers. I got the idea.
I got nothing, man.
I can probably rhyme with it, but I can't tell you the name.
Usually I'm 6 beers deep at this point. Talking Michigan.
But no, like, DJ Turner's come in and he shut down the Penn State Dotson. Yeah, John.
Well, he had 9 catches, but they contained him.
They contained him. Yeah,
that's the key. Yep.
And there were big plays on third downs where they threw it up to him, and that's where I'm saying they shut him down. Like, they took him out of the game when he was needed most.
Yep.
And let's even go back to the touchdown. Penn State scored the touchdown late in the game to tie it, and then got the 2-point conversion.
So that was to tie it at 14.
Yeah.
And then
we're talking about a stand in the red zone within 5 yards of.
Was that on 4th down?
That was on 4th down.
Yeah.
That was my point. Like, the defense stepped up, and then they made a very, very difficult play. They had to make an insane conversion to even get the touchdown on 4th down, and then they repeated themselves with Dotson to make a perfect pass and a perfect catch.
Yeah.
And that was the way they scored their 2-point conversion. So the defense did not break at that point. They just bent really far, and they're just like, we did everything we could. Sometimes the offense wins out, and that was an example
The offense
of that.
wants to make plays just as much as you don't want them to make plays.
Exactly.
No, but then obviously the strip sack is something you don't want to see. Then they end up taking the lead, but then the way that Michigan responded is absolutely great to see. It's something that we're not used to. Well, I don't even think that's fair, because I don't know. I think Michigan's been better than what people give them credit for. I think people are forgetting what they were. Obviously, last year was absolutely awful for a lot of people and a lot of reasons. If people are going to use Michigan State struggles as a COVID issue, then Michigan can too. Michigan State football too. I mean, it was just, there was a lot of stuff going on last year that I don't think people realize, and I don't want to hold anybody accountable too much for that. I think Michigan's a lot better than people think. I think they're healthier than they think as a whole program. And look out! I mean, everything's in front of them. I'm really excited to see what they do these next couple weeks. I don't expect anything, but I think they've put themselves in a position that they don't have to. They don't have to beat Ohio State. They don't have to get to the Big Ten championship or anything like that for me to be like, this team is taking a step in the right direction.
Here's what I expect. This is what I expect next week is for them to beat Maryland, and then they're going to be a 10-win team, and they're going to go into Ohio State week with 1 loss, where Ohio State has 1 loss, and it's for all the marbles.
Yep.
What other kind of opportunity are you looking for? This is what we want. I don't care if they get blown out by Ohio State. I don't care if we look dumb against them and look silly and their freshman quarterback goes nuts.
Dang good team.
They're a freaking good team with 2 of the 5 best wide receivers in all of college football on their team, with probably maybe one of the 3 best college running backs on their team in college football with Henderson.
He's definitely starting to show his stuff.
And then
important.
they only have 15 5-stars on their defense. Like, they are insane. They're fine. We could not have asked for a better season for Michigan, a better opportunity for Michigan going into these games. And Michigan State, you can't. I mean, same exact thing. Before, you're like begging to
no,
hit
you're
that.
good. I'm just
Vincent Gray,
Yeah.
cornerback.
That makes sense.
I'm telling you, you watch Vincent Gray, you watch Jamon Green, how he's playing early in the year, you watch DJ Turner, and then the range that the safeties have with Moten and with Moore. That is our opportunity against Ohio State. They have to play the best games of their life. But they're setting themselves up they're getting better and better every single week. They go against an elite talent in Dotson, and what do? They contain him. They feel good about themselves. They do not let him beat them.
One thing that I think that I want to see more from these guys is the playmaking play. They're very good. They're making plays and like shutting things down, but get that turnover, get the interception, make a game-changing play. That's one thing we're not seeing from the secondary.
The only person we've seen do that is Dax Hill.
Yeah,
and
but he missed a
occasion.
really good opportunity
he did.
Against Penn State to do that,
but
too.
I purposely said all those other players have stepped up, and I left out Dax Hill, their most important player.
Perfect.